would you describe the relationship between Pope Francis and the camera, your camera?
Good question, because I've had actors in front of my camera who had a great rapport to the camera, who had a natural gift. The Pope has a similar gift. He doesn't really have it to the camera. He has a gift to connect with people. And that gift translates well into the camera. That's why I decided to shoot our interview in a way that he talks straight into the camera, because I wanted to share his look with everybody. He is a great communicator, and that is the best gift an actor can have, because you have to connect, and he can connect. He's not an actor.
Do you think that your cinema has something in common with the core of the message of Pope Francis?
There is a couple of things he says. You might not think they're so important, because he says many important things in the film. But he says one thing, and it really hit me deep in my heart. And I think that's what connects us. He said, tenderness is not a weakness, it's strength. And I think I've always believed that in cinema as well, that cinema is not just about big things, it's also about small things, and it's about a care and love for things more than anything else. And I think when he said that line, I thought, oh yes, thank you, that's for me.
This, of course, is not the classical biopic.
No.
And it's very interesting also for this reason. So what was your intention at the very beginning in terms of storytelling?
As the concept was completely open, I was asked if I was interested to make a film with Pope Francis, and I said, yep, I would be interested. And they told me then, but it's up to you. You have to determine what it'll be like. And I realized I wasn't interested in a biographical film, because the people culture doesn't interest me. I'm interested in who people are, but not socially. More what their ideas are and what they represent and what their soul is all about. So no biography. Also didn't want to make a glamorous film. This is a man who tells us we can all get by with less, so I wanted to make also a poor film. And I'm also not interested in opinions. I think there's so many opinions today. You open the newspaper, there's opinions. You watch television, there's opinions. And I figured if I had this chance to make a film with Pope Francis, it shouldn't be a film about anybody's opinion about him, but strictly about what he wants to tell us and what his message is, especially now at a time when we can't really believe anybody anymore. If you look at our world leaders, our political figures all over the world, they have lost all authority. They have certainly no moral authority. So the Pope is one of the last people left on the planet worth listening to. So I didn't want to make a film with an opinion on him, because I felt people who listen to him can make their own opinion.
So do you think that this film in a way has strengthened or increased your spirituality?
Yes. Let me tell you why. Because he called himself San Francesco, after San Francesco. St. Francis was a radical man in the 13th century. He was radical in the eyes of the church, but also in the eyes of everybody. And he was radical because he did one very simple thing. He followed the gospel and he followed Christ radically. This Pope is doing the very same. In my book, he's a radical, but he's radical because he follows Christ, the message of a man called Jesus Christ who lived 2,000 years ago. And that's all he does. And it's difficult today, more difficult than ever, to be that radical and follow in the footsteps of that man.